Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, December 28th. Quite an amazing cold wave has overtaken much of the nation. This cold wave is extending from the Rocky Mountains all the way to the East Coast and all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Places like southern Texas, southern Florida will get quite cold relative to normal over the next several days. We are not even in the middle of this cold wave. It looks like this will go right through next week and perhaps to about the 10th or so of January. It very well could turn out to be one of the coldest 3-week stretches that we've had a long time, from around December 20th to about January 10th. It looks like it'll just be a brutally cold period for much of the nation. We'll first start off by looking at 5-day increments for the average temperature anomaly at the surface. This is current days 1 through 5, and just look at the expanse of this particular Arctic air outbreak. Again, from the Rocky Mountains all the way to the East Coast and all the way south to the Gulf of Mexico. It looks like a clipper system will dive south and east across the Great Lakes and reach the I-95 corridor in the time period of around Saturday. Maybe a snow shower tomorrow night. Certainly some snow showers are possible in the I-95 corridor on Saturday into Saturday night. Maybe even some small accumulations on the order of a dusting to an inch or so. More importantly, perhaps, that clipper system will usher in another brutally cold Arctic air mass. In fact, it looks like the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time period could be the worst of all so far. A brutally cold time period for the last day of 2017, the first day of 2018. Indeed, it looks brutally cold for Times Square New Year's Eve celebration in New York City. Perhaps temperatures around 10 degrees or so with even lower wind chill values. The Mummers Day in Philadelphia on Monday, New Year's Day, it'll be frigid. Of course, all these celebrations at the National Mall in D.C., for example, on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it'll be frigid there as well. Again, an amazing cold stretch here, and we're not even halfway through, and the worst is yet to come. Well, now we're jumping out to days 6 to 10. Again, a relentless series of Arctic air masses dropping into the northern U.S., spreading across the nation from the Rockies to the East Coast. This is days 6 to 10. It takes us into the first week of January. Again, just brutal cold for this time of the year. And just imagine if we had snow cover in the Mid-Atlantic region. We don't right now. We could get a minor accumulation on Saturday with that clipper system. But boy, if we had some snow cover, it would be turn out even colder than what is expected. Nonetheless, it looks like single-digit lows are quite likely in the upcoming days, especially Sunday night, Monday night, perhaps Tuesday night as well in the I-95 corridor. Certain suburban locations should drop to single digits. This is days 6 to 10. Now let's go out to days 11 to 15. And here we go. Still well below normal throughout the northern U.S. and extending all the way down into the southeast U.S. This is days 11 to 15. And keep in mind, we're looking at the ensemble run of the GFS. These are 2-meter temperature anomalies. Ensemble run tends to smooth things out as you go forward in time. So this may not appear as dramatically cold as days 1 to 5 or 6 to 10, but keep in mind that this model tends to smooth things out with time. So this indeed could turn out to be some dramatic cold as well. But the main point is that this Arctic cold is nowhere near done. It looks like right through next week and perhaps through around January 10th or so. A clipper system will bring some snow shower activity on Saturday to the Mid-Atlantic region. More importantly, it'll usher in a brand new, brutally cold air mass from the Arctic for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Well, let's take a look now at the height anomalies at 500 millibars going forward. Again, this is using the ensemble run of the GFS. Beginning with this morning, Thursday morning, we'll push ahead in 6-hour increments. Lots of below normal heights across the northern U.S. at this time. And here we go with a clipper system in this particular upper level feature here. This is now tomorrow morning. Let's move forward here and notice the trajectory here of these upper level winds, just coming from across the North Pole into the northern Canada. Again, the winds tend to blow parallel to these height lines, and it's just blowing from the other side of the North Pole, Siberian air, across the North Pole into northern and then central Canada, and it drops all the way into the Midwest and eventually the eastern U.S. And again, this Arctic air is spreading all the way south to the Gulf states. Texas and Florida will be in the news over the upcoming days with some severe cold for this time of the year for places that far to the south. This is now Saturday night, and here's the Clipper system. Earlier in the week and last week, we thought this could have a chance for a big snow event. There were signs that a coastal storm would form. It looks like there may end up being a storm off the Mid-Atlantic coastline, but it'll develop too late for a big impact on the Mid-Atlantic region. So the Clipper system is what we're looking for in terms of a potential accumulating snow on Saturday. It'll be cold, so any snow that falls will be of the light, fluffy variety, and don't need a lot of moisture to come up with an inch or two with those kind of cold temperatures. Let's just move forward here. Now we're into Sunday night time frame, and a couple things I want to point out here as we head towards the middle of next week. Notice strong ridging here. This is now by Tuesday across the west coast of Canada into Alaska, and a deep upper level trough kind of setting up shop here in the eastern U.S. Let's go to now Wednesday of next week. Now here we are at the middle of next week. Strong ridging along the west coast of Canada into Alaska and a deep upper level trough. This could set up a possible coastal storm by the middle, maybe Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Still several days away, but there's a chance for a bigger snow event come the middle of next week, and certainly looks like more cold Arctic air will follow whatever occurs during the middle part of next week. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps from the operational GFS model run. This is from the 0Z time frame, and here we are this morning, Thursday morning. Arctic high in control, very strong Arctic high across southeastern Canada. Winds will be a factor today. Again, we started off with temperatures in many of the suburban locations of Philadelphia and New York City near 10 degrees, but wind chills down near zero or even below with a decent breeze throughout the day today. Let's keep moving forward in 6-hour increments. These maps from tropicaltidbits.com. This is now Friday morning. Certainly can be a snow shower or two during the day on Friday. The Clipper is way out here in the northern plains come tomorrow morning, and then we'll see that driving south and east to the Ohio Valley by late tomorrow night. Can be a snow shower after midnight in D.C., Philadelphia, more likely during the day on Saturday. And here we go with snow in the Mid-Atlantic region during the day on Saturday associated with that Clipper system. And just look at the what's behind it. Another strong Arctic high pressure setting up in south central Canada. Just strong northerly winds blowing another brutally cold Arctic air mass into the heart of the nation, and that will follow this Clipper system. This is now the Saturday night forecast map, and here we go. By the time Sunday rolls around, the last day of the year, New Year's Eve, will be in another brutally cold air mass. Looks like Sunday will be kind of like today with a stiff wind that'll cause even lower wind chill values. It could drop to 10 degrees or so by midnight in Times Square in New York City, for example, with an even lower wind chill value. Then that high pressure area takes over Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Looks like a very, very cold time period for much of the nation. And then our attention will turn down to the southern states, and something may try to ride up the East Coast during the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. And of course, we have several days to monitor that. The big story, however, is the relentless Arctic cold. It's a punishing cold, and take it seriously if you're going outside, because the wind chill values can get to dangerous low levels here not only today, but certainly in the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time frame of early next week. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.